The minor mode. Part 5. Summary of root position triads. Comparison of major and minor modes. Realizations. Triad types in root position of the major mode and the minor mode. Understand this. Whenever we refer to the minor mode in this theory course, we usually mean the harmonic minor scale. The major triad type is rooted on the 1st, 4th, and 5th degrees of the major scale, also the 5th and 6th degrees of the harmonic minor scale. The minor triad type is located on the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th degrees of the major scale, also on the 1st and 4th degrees of the minor scale. The diminished triad type is situated on the 7th degree of the major scale, also the 2nd and 7th degrees of the minor scale. The augmented triad type is found on the 3rd degree of the minor scale only. Now it bears repeating. Whenever we refer to the minor mode in this theory course, we mean the harmonic minor scale, unless otherwise stated. On the left, there is a 6-5-3 progression in minor, and on the right, the reverse, 3-5-6. Does it seem to you that the figured bass is missing a couple of accidentals at the arrow points? How about now? Is this better? But actually, those accidentals, if only a courtesy, are not really necessary. Just as accidentals prefixed to notes are valid for the duration of the measure, sharps, flats, natural signs, and so forth, applying to subsequent notes in the same bar, the same holds true for the accidentals in figured bass. A realization of the bass figures bears this out. On the left, the 7th tone of the scale, the C sharp, has been raised a semitone for the dominant triad, the 5 chord. The C sharp continues through the 3rd beat of the same bar as part of the augmented mediant triad, the 3 chord. Similarly, on the right, the 7th degree of the D minor scale is raised a semitone on the downbeat for the mediant triad, the augmented 3 chord. This tone continues raised through the 2nd beat for the 5 chord, the dominant triad. Now for the entire thorough bass line. You will notice that bars 2 and 5, with the boxes around them, are identical with the 2 examples we just analyzed. A 6-5-3 chord progression and a 3-5-6 progression. Listen. And here is one way to realize that thorough bass line, with the soprano beginning at the octave of the bass. Listen. Let this be a lesson for you. Lesson 1. Study the realization. Transcribe it. Remember, transcribe means copy by hand. Then transpose it to the keys of E flat minor and C sharp minor. In other words, transpose the lesson a semitone higher than what you see here, and also a semitone lower. Finally, play it. Here is a different realization of the same figured bass, the soprano now starting at the 5th above the bass. Let that be another lesson for you. Lesson 2. Study this new realization carefully. Transcribe it to your notebook, then transpose it to the keys of E-flat minor and C-sharp minor. In other words, transpose this lesson a semitone higher and a semitone lower, as before. Finally, play it on your piano keyboard. Post a question in the comments. If you like, share and subscribe to our channel. And now for a final root position triads in the minor mode food for thought slide. This is a facsimile of a portion of page 39 of Solomon Yadison's Manual of Harmony, 3rd edition, published in 1890. As mentioned before, the book is in public domain, so there's no worry about copyright infringement. 3 thorough bass lines are shown. For practice, students are to construct multiple realizations of the figured bass lines, including indicated transpositions. As for the starting note of the soprano in the various transpositions, follow the written directions exactly. Finally, play through each completed realization on the piano. One more thing. Before even getting started, be sure to write in the key and chord roots, the Roman numerals, of each transposition. Thank you for your attention.